Okay, so it seems that we have a pretty big update on the VShojo situation. Now, this is coming from Proctor-Z and also some other sources which we'll go through. Now, essentially, what they have said, if you don't know who Proctor-Z is, obviously, they're pretty big in the VTuber community. They own, like, the Virtual Asylum and stuff. But essentially, they talked about the fact that Gunrun, disgraced former CEO of VShojo, has filed for personal bankruptcy in California. This implies that there is no legal action being taken against him and that none of his victims filed charges. He will slip away with minimal consequences. This industry disgusts me. Now, obviously, I don't know how true this last part is, obviously about the no legal action stuff. If someone like Legal Mindset or someone was to cover this, that would actually be really great to kind of add some extra clarification on what this actually means legally. But essentially, the first part, though, seems to be pretty true. Now, obviously, it says that Gunrun has filed for personal bankruptcy. Now, this is personal bankruptcy, not company bankruptcy, right? This is not VShojo filing for bankruptcy. This is Gunrun himself actually filing for his own bankruptcy, right? Which is very, very interesting, and obviously, yeah, shows you how screwed they are in terms of monetarily, right? People have been replying to this, especially over on the VShojo subreddit, saying a quick reminder, while everyone is busy farming their hit tweets, I want to remind you to support the talents, keep it positive, and if the info didn't come from one of us, someone saw that in a spy stream and made it up. So, yeah, obviously, this was from a while ago, whenever Giga was saying that obviously wait for one of them, or one of the VShojo members to talk about stuff before making assumptions. But obviously people have been pointing towards different kind of comments and stuff, including this one, which is, yeah, a court kind of thing, which essentially shows us that, you know, Gunrun could be filing for bankruptcy here. Now, obviously, maybe there's another person with the same name as him or something like that. But again, obviously, this was filed recently on the 26th of September 2025, and the date of the last known filing was the 29th of September, which would obviously add up in terms of, you know, when this happened. But again, as I said, I would need someone like Legal Mindset or someone to go through this to fully cover exactly what he's trying to do here, because again, I'm not a lawyer. I have zero clue on what goes on over in court and exactly what this means and what this implies for Gunrun going forwards. But what we do know is that it seems like he is obviously filing for bankruptcy. Now, obviously, people have been responding to this saying, remember people, if you see any names other than Justin Ignacio, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say a second name, but obviously Gunrun, or an attorney, you didn't see anything. Edit, this is a personal bankruptcy filing, not corporate. This is just Gunrun, who as of this year wasn't taking an extreme salary from VShojo, 162k a year though, through May, down to 101 to 112k. Paycheck details only go back to March 14th though, but it sure doesn't look like he personally pocketed the money or anything, or he's committing more fraud to trying to hide it, which, yeah, I think that is definitely a point to make there. It doesn't seem like obviously he's committed even more fraud to maybe, you know, gain, you know, that money back and essentially, you know, avoid bankruptcy. It seems like he has literally just taken it straight to the end and is now obviously, yeah, filing for bankruptcy over in California. Now, obviously, we still haven't had any kind of information on VShojo themselves filing for bankruptcy. As the last time we kind of checked about this, I'm pretty sure it was from a case on video or some other video coming from one of the talent, right, talking about the fact that they were begging talent to give them money to essentially file for bankruptcy, considering that obviously, yeah, the California, you know, the state of California and stuff, they charge you to file for bankruptcy, which is pretty insane. But again, that's just how it works. They were asking some of the talent for money to do that, and the talent were just like, no, like, why would we do that? You know, you screwed us over. You got to get yourself out of this mess. Like, it's not our problem. So yeah, obviously a lot of people as well have been talking to, and the spy stream does explain why I saw Giga riding a giant worm. So thank you, General. Wish I could work for Giga. Said, what is the rumor going around now? Said, it's a July old tweet, probably when the VShojo topic was hot back then, but obviously people say on any context, think of chair. Said, I think Fun Buns is applying for a personal bankruptcy, means nobody's getting paid. It's a personal bankruptcy. It just means if anyone made some charity money disappear, it's not Gunrun. A payout for a bankruptcy is the company selling its remaining assets to repay its debts, and someone else buying said assets, and that money is being used to repay debts. No money is going to come until after the bankruptcy stuff is handled. Yeah, so it is just a personal bankruptcy. It isn't a company one at the moment. So they said the charity money was likely used to keep VShojo afloat financially in the regular cash flow operations. But yeah, company is broke. Gunrun is apparently broke. nobody is getting paid. It said nothing really. It's just not a July old tweet. It said, that's my bad. I really should have made it clear what I was talking about. And obviously, yeah, they do include it at the bottom here. Now say, to clarify, the tweet claiming that Gunrun is filing for bankruptcy. However, none of the former talent has spoken about this. So take it with a huge grain of salt right now. So obviously, yeah, this was the original Giga tweet saying, well, everybody's farming it. But here is the tweet I'm pretty sure they're talking about in regards to the CEO filing for bankruptcy. Now, obviously, whoever that chatter was in the Reddit kind of point here, they did make a really good link there pointing towards this. Now, obviously, I don't know how legitimate this website is and how, real it is, but it does look pretty legitimate to me. So again, obviously, some extra confirmation from some other YouTubers would be interesting. I might actually DM Legal Mindset after this video to have him, kind of close in a little bit further on what is going on if he isn't already on this case, right? So essentially, yeah, we go on to say, so that could be more info could come out from the talents node, since most didn't due to assumed future legal proceedings, which could be the case, but also I think there is still legal stuff going on behind the scenes. I feel like it's not just over yet. People saying it's a little amusing. The fan base is more up in arms over girl fight slander wars than charity fraud, and that she's getting screwed over. Pretty sure they're referring to the Cinder stuff there right now, which, yeah, kind of is true, but I think obviously the Cinder stuff was a very big event as well, and I think this one has kind of gone under the kind of radar a little bit, especially considering it is obviously just a couple of tweets, right? If you're saying everyone is too afraid of court and losing anonymity, not necessarily any potential lawsuits he may face now fall under the trustee to manage, which means if he has any money left over after paying creditors, and assuming there are people who threaten to sue, they will settle, which again, obviously these are all just random Twitter users kind of, stating their opinions on this kind of stuff. I don't think any of them have real actual, like legal knowledge, right? But yeah, people say, stuff like this makes me wish the meme of Pippa raging, find them chat, we must make them suffer was in fact real. Said he just found a place to hide his money. Said bro is actually roaching her out and getting away with it, man. And yeah, I think the biggest concern for a lot of people is that potentially Gunrun could get away with obviously a lot of what he has done. Now, again, obviously filing for bankruptcy is a humiliating in the first place. So again, obviously maybe that's already enough kind of punishment, but obviously many people obviously want to continue and they want to kind of hold this guy accountable, because that is 100% correct. He has screwed over so many people in terms of talent and stuff with poor kind of financial handling over VShojo. So again, obviously he does deserve to kind of be held accountable for that, but it doesn't seem like that will be the case. But again, maybe there still is some options for legal action to be taken, even if he does file for bankruptcy. I'm not sure. As I said, I'll keep you guys up to date as, some actual legal kind of experts kind of uncover this and kind of unpick this, because I think that I think there is something to be talked about here about what could be happening in the future in terms of this case with VShojo and Gunrun, and whether this is a significant moment in terms of the VShojo situation or not. But as I said, from what it seems like, this does seem pretty legit, but obviously take a lot of this information with a grain of salt, as always, because I do think it is a pretty interesting one at that. And yeah, that is essentially the update. Gunrun is apparently filing for bankruptcy, personal bankruptcy, not company bankruptcy in California. So again, we'll have to wait and see what kind of comes from that and whether that's successful for him or not. And yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date if there's any other information that comes out going forwards. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code KAZA, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.